Hey guys! Okay, so this week we're making Prep Ahead turkey meatball soup. I love a turkey meatball. I'm a big fan, and I love different ways to cook them. You know, I like using turkey breasts, so you gotta really be careful about drying it out, and having them in a soup is the perfect way that that doesn't happen. This soup is inspired by an Italian wedding soup, which I also love, but this is inspired by Italian wedding soup vibes. So check this out. It's also using prepped ahead ingredients. You guys know I love doing that. Prepped ahead pasta. The other prep ahead ingredient we're using is the prepped ahead marinara sauce, which I showed you guys. So yummy. So these are two really key things in the soup that are so yummy. So I always like to wear gloves when I'm dealing with raw poultry and things like that. So here we have 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, Parmesan Reggiano, and about 2 teaspoons of millet flour. You can use almond flour, you can use regular flour. Millet flour is like, it's really fine. So it like really blends into what you're using it, and it's like a little sweet. I just really love it. So we're using that. Almond flour also works very well. Organic ground turkey breast. We're gonna put this into a bowl. We're gonna add our ground cheese. We're gonna add our millet flour. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of garlic salt. We're gonna mix it together. Sorry to my veggie friends out there. I'm trying to do more vegetarian recipes though, because we're trying to do plant-based nights in our house. So I'm able to show you guys more vegetarian nights. This is not one of them. Sorry. So here's what we're gonna do.
Hello.
Hi, Peanut. Let's break this up. Okay, now I'm gonna just mix these up. So I use my gloves because you don't want your meatballs to get like mealy. So you wanna be really kind of delicate how you mix everything up. Like my fingers are very kind of loose right now. I'm gently mixing everything together. Okay, so we wanna mold it into a meatball, like just over 1 inch. That'll be yummy in a soup. So we're gonna go ahead and finish that and get these in a pan so we can brown them a little bit. So this is like when I'm at home cooking, when I'm not like filming myself doing it for you guys. I put on a book on tape, I put on a podcast, I just kind of hang out, and this is actually like my Zen time. Cooking to me, I know some people are like, they get stressed out about cooking, and I hope that these videos help you not get stressed out. Because cooking for yourself and your loved ones, it's something that's so in my DNA. I love sharing it with you guys. But it's also like, it can be really meditative. So hopefully these help. So we have our turkey meatballs. Now we just want to brown the sides, okay? So I'm just gonna pop them in a nonstick pan. And you just want to kind of sear the sides a little bit. And then they're gonna continue cooking once they're in our soup. I like using a nonstick pan because I've done these in a not nonstick pan. And it's not fun. Okay, now that I touch these, I'm gonna wash my hands. So I'm just kind of searing the edges. Now I'm using my hands, but guys, please be careful because I'm used to doing this and I don't want anyone getting hurt, so just please be careful. Even though I have tongs in my hand, I just always reach in with my hands. This whole process usually takes about 5 minutes because they're gonna do the rest of their cooking in the soup. You wanna get some of that browned spots because it brings out the flavor, it makes them taste really good, and it helps keep them together. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Okay, now I have to go wash my hands again. So turkey meatballs are seared, they're hanging out, chilling and waiting. Now we're gonna get our vegetables prepped. 2 carrots, 2 medium celery stalks, 1 sweet potato. You don't have to use sweet potatoes. Some people I know are kind of sensitive to it and don't like it. I love them. And it actually tastes really nice with our marinara sauce vibes. And then we have 2 cups of the dinosaur kale. Mom life. That's what's happening. Okay, getting it done. Peel these, and then we're gonna chop them up. Pull the strings off. You don't want that going in your teeth. Okay, let's chop these up. Okay, so I like this kind of size for a soup. 1/2 inch. Because you want to imagine whoever you're cooking for, yourself, friends, partner, kids, whatever, you have to think about what their experience is going to be when they eat it and what sizes they'll want to bite into. So for a soup, when these are cooked through, that's a nice chunk. Okay, so celery. Celery, I cut a little bit thinner for soups. So that's going to be perfect. There's that. The celery and the carrots are going to cook before the sweet potato and the kale, so I'm going to put those in separate bowls. Let's peel. See, this is why I designed my cutting board. Now, I'm going to have to go dump this. Pause. So for the sweet potato, I cut them pretty small. Like that for a soup. Mom life. So we have our dinosaur kale. I'm going to save this. So for the soup, I like more of the leafy stuff. So cut the spine off, and then you just want the leaves. So when I put kale into soup, I like to cut it into little kind of pretty strips like that. And then when it's in the soup, it looks really pretty. Or you can also use baby spinach, which is really nice. So what I like to do is, so there's the kale, fold it in half like that, and I'm just going to cut straight down the spine. So I do this with any kind of kale. I do that with curly kale as well when I'm doing like kale chips and prepping my kale for salads and stuff. I do the same thing. And then what you have left is just the leaf. And if you want, you can save these. You know, you could juice them, you compost them, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to cut these in those nice thin strips. I love kale. I don't eat kale unless I marinate it in a little bit of olive oil and lemon juice, which I've shown you guys, with a little bit of sea salt, or it's cooked. So I either marinate it if I'm going to eat it in salads, or I cook it. So this is always the same kind of process that I do. And now you have this, look at this beautiful kale. So nice. Okay. Yay. I also love kale. I love workhorse vegetables. I love vegetables where when you prep them, they last in your fridge for a few days and you can use them in different things because that's like the crux of my cooking. So I love workhorse veggies, especially like this. Okay, great. Let's do it. So we have our onions. I'm going to add my celery and my carrots. I'm going to cook all these together. Again, about 5 minutes. You don't want the onions to brown. Then we'll add the garlic. And then we're going to be well on our way. This is going to be so yummy. It smells so good. Okay, just let that cook for a sec. It's so pretty. Okay, we're going to add the garlic, the sweet potato. We're going to add a couple teaspoons of garlic salt and a little bit of red pepper chili flakes. Our meatballs, our stock, our marinara. We're basically putting everything in except for the kale. So I just added the stock and the marinara. We're going to stir it gently. So our soup has been simmering for like 10 minutes. We want to simmer it for about 20 minutes, but the last 10, that's when I put in my kale. We want to cook this until the meatballs are 165 degrees. That's the safe temperature. So we're going to let this keep cooking. So now we're just doing a quick rehydration of the pasta. This is my prepped pasta. I'm just going to make 2 servings, so it's probably good for 2 servings. So really quick, when I have my prep pasta, I only do this for about 30 seconds. Okay, so let's plate our soup. We're going to put some of our prepped ahead pasta in the bottom of the bowl. Just like that. And now we're going to top it with our soup. I like having the pasta separate because this is prep ahead soup. So I'm going to keep this in my fridge. And then every time I want to make it, I'll rehydrate the pasta like I just showed you guys, put it in the bottom of the bowl, and then top it with the soup. So little things like that of keeping it separate, your noodles won't get mushy and stuff in your prepped ahead stuff. So those little tips help. Oh my gosh, yum. So now I'm going to just top it with some grated Parmesan cheese and a little bit of Italian flat leaf parsley. And there it is. Yummy. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna go eat. I'm very excited.